So Matt, just talk about the performance first 2 days, your perspective of the team and specifically the tournament this year.
Well, overall, I think it was pretty tough tough day for our guys, but we got 3 horses going tomorrow, and we got some really talented athletes that got their draws already and ready to roll. They're feeling good. They know what they got to do. They got to go out and compete. They got to perform. They got to get to their ties, their positions, and they got to take risks. They got to score points. The guys that weren't willing to take risks didn't win at this tournament. So that's really what's got to happen tomorrow, and I'm very confident with the last 3 guys we got. It's time to do some performing.
So Ellis is back in, right? Now, he's wrestling at a pretty high level even though he dropped the match, right? Talk about Ellis right now.
Well, he dropped the match to Surkoff, who's in the finals, so yeah, that pulls him back in, and he's looking good, he's healthy, If Ellis is healthy, the kid can do amazing things for sure, so that's a great thing. We went over to Tata before here, and we had a great camp, and good training for Ellis, so he's feeling good, feeling sharp. I'm looking forward to seeing him compete in the morning.
A couple matches that were just really tight, I think 2 8-7 matches. How do you turn those around?
You got to stay in it, man. You got to hold position. Especially when you get those leads, you got to keep fighting and keep attacking. You don't want to. That's the moment where you don't want to take a ton of risks, but you still got to stay in the fight. You got to hold position a lot better. You can't give up underhooks. You can't let guys get to your body and score. So continue improvement that we, with things that we can take home and work on. But yeah.
A couple of the guys struggle there defending the parterre position. What can they do to change, from at this point?
For sure we need to continue to improve on that area. That's definitely a big part of the Greco-Roman game is the parterre, and it's a European sport. We need to continue to come over to Europe. We spent a lot of time over here, especially before the Worlds. My great grandfather was a logger out in Oregon, and he had a guy that chopped wood with him, and they paid on performance base, and the guy he couldn't get a raise. He'd been there for 5 years and kept asking for a raise, and he went to the foreman and said, why can't I get a raise? I've been working here for 4 years. He said, you're producing the same amount of wood. You haven't gotten more results. And he went to my great grandfather and talked to him, and he said, well, I'll tell you what I do. Is after every couple of trees I chop down, I sharpen my axe, and that's what we're doing over here. So we got to continue to sharpen that axe and find ways to get with the best guys in the world. And that's really, we were with 2 guys in the finals tonight. Those are the guys we were training with. That's the camp we were at. So I know we're doing things right. I know we're in the right spot. Guys got to buy in, believe in the plan. They got to follow the plan. It's human nature to want things easy, they're comfortable, and this is really hard. If you haven't been here, you haven't stepped on the stage of the World Championships, no matter how hard you think it is, it's harder. And these guys are really good and really talented. You gotta find ways to beat them. And we're not there yet. We're getting better. We're getting close. But when you're not there yet, you got to chase these guys down. You got to seek them out. You got to find those guys that are the best in the world. You got to train with them. You got to compete against them, and you got to get better. You got to sharpen that axe. Every time you get an opportunity, and you got to look at things as this isn't what I have to do. Oh, I have to go to this camp. I have to spend time training. This is a great opportunity if this is your goals and this is what you want to do. Otherwise, go find something else to do because this is really hard. And if this isn't what you want to do and you're not willing to make that many sacrifices, that amount of sacrifice, do something else because this doesn't pay enough to, there's things you can do. You could probably, check groceries and make the same kind of money. But if this is what your passion is, this is what you want to do, this is where your heart is, you gotta look at all these chances as opportunities and not obligations, and follow your dreams and just keep chasing it, man, because it's gonna come. Look at a guy like Dalton, man. I got so emotional after his match because he did everything right, everything, constantly. I saw a tweet that Andy Bisick put out. It was just beautiful. It epitomized Dalton Roberts so well. He said, you know, these guys all talk about what they're going to do and how they want it, and he doesn't talk, he just shows every day, consistently, day in, day out. And you're not going to always feel good. You're not going to always feel like you want to train, you want to prepare. And those are the days you're going to do it. You might wake up on competition day and you might feel like shit. And you still got to be able to perform. You still have to be able to compete and take risks and fight out there. And, you know, you got to figure out if this is really what you want to do, because it's not easy.
You got Kuhn going at heavyweight. How much better a Greco wrestler is he now since trials? He's really focused full time on it.
Yeah, that guy, he's a worker. He's a wrestler. He knows how to compete. He knows how to work. He finds a way. Look how much improvement he did between April and the trials in June. He's double, he's double folded that kind of improvement from where he was. We're figuring out his strengths and gonna get into our positions, get into our strengths positions. He might not be the most developed and refined Greco-Roman wrestler in the world at this moment, but he's going to give it everything he's got, and he's going to go to his strengths. And I don't want to give those away, but we're gonna put those guys in positions they don't want to be in, and he's going to bring a pace that they don't want, those heavyweights don't want to contend with, and we're going to see what happens.
You got a couple guys that are pure explosion tomorrow in Kamal Bay and Jangela Hancock. How do we make sure that they're pure explosion tomorrow?
Well, showtime, man. That's what Kamal says. Every time he's ready to go, it's showtime. I mean, I love the kid's ethos. He wants to put on an entertaining match. He wants to raise the level of the sport. He wants to make it exciting for the fans to watch. And in the process, he wants to win. He really wants to win. He's doing the right stuff. Made a lot of changes in his life and his training. He's got good coaches. We got so much great support here with our coaching staff and our medical staff and just everybody that's been behind us. But what we did is we got here on the 17th. We've been recovering these guys. We've been really just tapering these guys down. We had a great plan that I took my plan into the USOC and worked with the physiologist and said, here's what I want to do. How does this fit? And help me periodize this training plan. And a big part of that was peaking these guys at the right time. And tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow's the day that they're going to be explosive and exciting. It's up to them though. Once they get out on the mat, they got to take risks. They got to challenge themselves. They got to get to their positions. But we know both of those athletes are more than capable. They got to do it on the right day at the right time. The World Championships are it's on that day. On that day, you're not the world champion every day, but on that day that the meet happens, the tournament, you got to perform, and that's what we're hoping for tomorrow. Is that we see some great performance out of these last three guys.
You guys good?
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.